Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. It is June 29th, and definitely feeling that humidity tonight, and an active day in Pennsylvania, and this is a sign of things that we're going to have to deal with tomorrow. You can actually see these thunderstorms popping up, but this is just from a warm front. This is not actually even from a cold front. The cold front comes through tomorrow night. Let's go and look at the latest radar right now we got going on. And you'll see there are some showers that are approaching New Jersey, central Jersey, into New York City. Nothing crazy, nothing too severe on this line here coming up. I don't know if we haven't have any warnings here. We're gonna just go to the enhanced radar. Let me actually go to the Mount Holly radar. So get us look at that, and you'll see heat advisory for New Jersey. It looks like we do have a severe thunderstorm warning northwest of Baltimore right now. So let's look at the enhanced radar, the high resolution radar, and we'll just show you what we got going on here. We do have a couple of intense thunderstorms east of Harrisburg. I know there's a tornado warning for this, so this is what's left of this line, and I'm really not too confident in any severe weather tonight. I think it'll just be some showers and maybe some thunderstorms with heavy rain. But tomorrow is the day I'm concerned about. All right, let's look at the radar, the other radar here, the AccuWeather radar, and you'll see again, still got some heavy thunderstorms around Harrisburg. Pennsylvania's been hit pretty hard today, but this other part of the line doesn't really look that impressive. There is a bowing line, though, in Maryland right now that looks pretty severe. This could have some pretty damage. These could have some strong straight line winds with it. But again, this is all with the warm front. This isn't the cold front. The cold front is back over here. All right, so we got a ways to go before we get relief from this humidity until at least later tomorrow night. And while we're in this humid air mass, we're going to be dealing with the chance for some heavy showers and thunderstorms, possibly some severe thunderstorms as well. Let's take a look and see what's going on right now across the area as far as temperatures go. We have a very strong southerly flow that's generally keeping temperatures in the right around 73, very uniform across much of Long Island. Jersey, of course, it's hotter there, 75 in much of Jersey, mid to even upper 70s in Jersey. So no surprise that south wind coming off warmer land. But it is the humidity has definitely gone up out there. Looking at islip, dew point is now 72. So definitely getting tropical. That warm front is in the process of moving through. And we're starting to see, you can see if we look at the observations from islip, you'll see how the dew points have come up throughout the day. Didn't feel so bad earlier in the afternoon, dew points in the mid-60s, but then this evening the dew points started hitting 70 degrees. And that's when it really starts feeling tropical out there. That's the kind of air mass we're in right now. Let's go look, and you'll see here we have a heat advisory in effect for New Jersey for tomorrow, and at least most of New Jersey except the northern part, and a severe thunderstorm watch into Pennsylvania right now. They're still dealing with that severe thunderstorm watch right now. Let's look at our highs across the area for today, and you'll see highs were generally around upper 70s to around 80 degrees across Long Island. Islip hit 77. 79 at Farmingdale. As you got into the city, 81 at LaGuardia and 81 at JFK. That's interesting. They're both the same. 78 at Central Park. And let's see how New Jersey did. Okay, by the coast, not too bad. Miller Air Park was 84, but as you go inland, you start seeing those upper 80s. We'll look at our lows. And what happened last night is our radiational cooling got capped by cloud cover coming in. So lows were generally in the 62, low to mid-60s generally. The West Hampton did get down to 55, as well as 59 at Miller Air Park. Now let's just look at West Hampton for a moment here, and kind of curious when that 55, that low of 55 was reached. Let's just go back here and see. 325. You can see how the temperatures are starting to go up before sunrise. That was because of those clouds moving in, putting a lid on the radiational cooling. So we have the severe threat going on, but we also have, and I want to talk about this as well, our first hurricane of the season. Say hello to Hurricane Beryl here, and yeah, it's a hurricane already. It just really developed pretty quickly. Let's read the latest on the public advisory on this here. Beryl forecast to intensify quickly into a major hurricane. It's because of those very warm waters expected to bring life-threatening winds and storm surge to the Windward Islands starting tomorrow night. As of 8 p.m., its location is 10.2 north, 50.3 west, about 660 miles southeast of Barbados. Maximum sustained winds are 80 miles an hour. It's moving west at 22 miles an hour, and the minimum central pressure is 990 millibars, or 29.23 inches. And we have hurricane warnings in effect for Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadine Islands, and Grenada. Tropical storm warning in effect for Martinique and Tobago. Tropical storm watch is in effect for Dominica. So this is not a good situation at all. And there's going to be rapid strengthening forecast. Beryl is expected to become a dangerous major hurricane before it reaches the windward island. We've seen this a lot lately, where these things will just pop up literally, like almost out of nowhere. It just intensify very quickly. The extent of the hurricane force winds right now is only 10 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend out up to 60 miles. So it is a compact storm. Minimum central pressure 990 millibars, 29.23 inches. So let's go look at the map here, and we'll take a look at Beryl, the warning cone here. Let's do that cone right there. Yeah, here we go. So here's that cone, and you see where this is heading. These islands are going to get clobbered, unfortunately. And then it's going to threaten Jamaica, and then threaten perhaps the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, and then wind up in the Gulf. So this is it's going to become a major hurricane. See the M right there? That means major hurricane. And so let's go to get the current storm information on Hurricane Beryl here. Let's take a look at it on satellite, and you can see, yeah, this is a strengthening hurricane. Clearly see that strengthening quite rapidly, I will say. Quite rapidly. We're going to look at some other images from Beryl. Let's go over here, storms, Beryl, and we'll take a look at this as well. So you can see here, yeah, you can really see, look at all that convection going on. So this is strengthening very rapidly. It has plenty of warm water. It's got an upper ridge, very favorable conditions for rapid strengthening. And I think this could reach a Category 4 hurricane status. Some of the models were suggesting that last night when we were looking at them. And so we'll go back to tidbits. All right, and we're going to go look at the models here. Actually, go back here and look at the models here, and the strength models. And you'll see a number of them are taking it. A lot of them taking a Category 3. Some of them even Category 4. And I lean toward the high end because of those warmer water temperatures. So we could see a Category 4, and it's going to be a devastating situation for this area. As well. Your spaghetti models, again, the Windward Islands are going to get hammered, and then we got to worry about Jamaica and the Yucatan, and then it enters the Gulf. So this thing is going to cause a lot of devastation in a lot of different areas. And we're just getting started with the hurricane season, and we already have our first what will be major hurricane Beryl by tomorrow night. So let's get back closer to home and talk about the severe weather threat, obviously. Storm Prediction Center. You see it's got that slight risk sneaking through Pennsylvania. This is tonight. When we move it to tomorrow, let's find to tomorrow here. This is the day 2. And you can see we've got the slight risk now all the way from Maine, all the way down to the mid-Atlantic. So this is going to be a widespread severe weather outbreak for tomorrow, I think. Again, we have very humid air. We have a cold front moving into it. It's very favorable to see that kind of development with severe weather. Let's just look at today's climate statistics, and then we're going to talk about tomorrow. So ice slip at a high of 77, a low of 62, 3 degrees below normal, despite the humidity. We got plenty of cloud cover. 73 and 66 at Central Park, 3 degrees below normal there. We got that out of the way. Let's go and talk about what we have coming with this severe weather outbreak for tomorrow. So let's look now. We have this cold front coming through, obviously. This cold front is going to come through tomorrow. And you see after that, high pressure builds in for Monday. But we're mainly going to focus on tomorrow in this weather update here. So let's start with the HRRR, which hopefully we have most of it in now. We're going to look at the HRRR and see what it does. So you see it's got a couple of showers and thunderstorms overnight into Sunday morning. Don't think we're going to see anything severe. Then can't rule out a possible pop-up shower thunderstorm tomorrow because, again, we have this very warm, humid air mass in place. And then the cold front comes through, and, yeah, HRRR is also picking on to this, that there's going to be a line of thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms developing. And the movement of this line is key here because the movement is northwest to southeast, and this is a direction of movement that heavily favors severe weather on Long Island. It has historically always done that because it's not moving over the city; it's coming straight from the north, and this looks like it would form around 8, 9 o'clock, and then it looks like it tries to have it weaken. It may not weaken. The HRRR may be underplaying this a little bit, but this is the time that you really got to watch out. 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to see this front move through, and that's going to trigger these storms, and then the front slowly snakes to the south as we get into Monday with improving conditions. All right, dew points and wind flow. So this is the key here. The dew points are going to be very high. See, look at that, 74-degree dew points. Dew points in the mid-70s. A very juiced-up air mass. And we do have a southwesterly flow. But still, I don't think the sea breeze is going to weaken these things at all because there's just so much humidity in the air. I don't think it's going to do anything to weaken them. And you can see as we get closer to the storms, the winds kind of go a little bit westerly right ahead of them. That could help feed in some heat and strengthen them even further. And then once that front moves through, you can see the dew points drop and more comfortable conditions for Monday. All right. Now, as far as temperatures go, so let's look at the temperatures. And you can see here, Long Island not showing that hot, but Jersey could definitely see 90 degrees tomorrow. With that southerly flow, chances are, between the southerly flow and ample cloud cover, probably won't get that hot on Long Island. But I don't even think you need the heat to help these storms along. I think there'll be enough humidity. Yeah, let's look at this, too. This is a parameter I don't use very much, but we're going to look at the CAPE on this, and you can see, look at all that CAPE there that we see right here in the atmosphere for most of the day tomorrow. So even if there's a pop-up shower at thunderstorm, it could be severe. And then as we get toward the evening, you can see it dissipates. But this is a very unstable, juiced-up air mass that heavily favors severe weather at this point. That's why we're at a level 2 with the severe weather threat for tomorrow. And, of course, there are other models we're going to look at here, so not just the HRRR. Let's go over to the NAM. The NAM also shows this as well. Of course, I don't have enough of the new one in. So let's go. We're going to have to use the 18Z run of this. And we're also going to look at the CAPE as well. Man, look at how bad it is inland. It's not as bad on Long Island, but, again, if they're coming right out of the north, I don't think that it's going to matter that much. But yeah, this is a lot of really, really bad situation with this. So let's look at the radar right now. The radar output on the NAM here. So you see what happens. Overnight, not too concerned about that. Again, it's tomorrow evening. So right here, you can see good solid line forming. Here we are, 8 o'clock. The NAM has been very insistent on this. Right around 8 o'clock or so, that we have this line coming down from the northwest into the south. And you can see this looks like a pretty significant line of thunderstorms here that we're going to have. This is 8 o'clock here. And with the sun setting, it could be some pretty dramatic looking skies if we can get a shelf with this. Really, really impressive line there. This is what the NAM has been doing, and then even now the HRRR is showing what the NAM has been doing. So that's why I think the NAM is right. And now we're going to have this line of severe thunderstorms coming on through, and they're going to bring some pretty. It's going to be a quick mover. It'll move through quickly, but it's going to cause a lot. We could have strong winds with these storms. Looks to me more like a straight line wind deal. A straight line wind deal right now is what it looks like. Strong winds, wind gusts possibly, exceeding 60 miles an hour with this line. Of course, frequent lightning, heavy rain, maybe some hail mixed in as well. And, you can't rule out the possibility of a tornado, obviously. Actually, I want to kind of go back to Storm Prediction Center and look at that tornado threat. Look at this. They have us in a threat for a tornado. 2% chance of tornado tomorrow. So, yeah, they can't even rule that out, possibly. With all this instability in the air, it is highly possible that we could see a tornado somewhere in the northeast tomorrow with this. So, yeah, it's very concerning here. Obviously, as far as how much rain would fall from this, probably not a whole lot because it's going to be quick moving. But it could be as much as a half an inch, and maybe some other areas could get up to an inch or more than that. But the main concern here is the wind aspect with this. This is definitely very, looking very ominous here in these models here. Very ominous situation. And I want to go. This also shows the wind as well, so you can see here. Look at that line. Look at that thing. Holds together the whole way across Long Island. The air mass is very humid. I don't think the effect of the sea breeze is going to do a damn thing. Once you have humidity this high, I don't think it's going to do a damn thing to weaken it. Honestly, I don't see it. Let's do the HDRPS model too. Ooh, this is scarier. Oh, look at this again. Same thing. Look at the purples. So Suffolk, everybody is going to get hit pretty much. There might be a gap around the city, perhaps, but everybody's going to get hit. It looks like it's showing Jersey too getting hit, and this line's going to cause more power outages too. Just when JCP&L is starting to get the power back, I think we're going to see a lot of power outages. But this time, it's not just going to be JCP&L dealing with power outages. I think Long Island's going to be dealing with a lot too, with the severity of this storm that we have for tomorrow. And I just want to go and look at what today's storms did. They didn't really do too much in Pennsylvania, 8,000. Tomorrow is going to be way worse across the area, and way worse. This is going to be quite a storm. It's going to be probably the most significant severe thunderstorm we've seen in a while, I think, here on Long Island for tomorrow. And I definitely looking very favorable for severe thunderstorms. Again, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, just be on guard, because I think that's when all hell will probably break loose across our area with these storms. And I want to go to Vent to Sky next, and we're going to actually do some more. Let's look at some more cape levels with this. So here are the capes, and again, wow, look at the cape for tomorrow. Wow. So the atmosphere is primed. It is primed. All it needs is that trigger, and that front is going to be that trigger that we're going to see these thunderstorms really develop. And again, the dew points are going to be, if we look at the dew points again, these dew points are very high tomorrow, well into the mid-70s, so very, very humid conditions we're going to see tomorrow. So the conditions are really ripe to see this outbreak for tomorrow. It really is very ripe. And as far as clouds go, obviously we will have clouds, but any breaks of sun is just going to help to stabilize things. If the more clouds we have during the day, the less of a chance of a pop-up. But when the front comes through, it's going to be, all hell is going to break loose. So that is what is going to happen right now. All right. Let's take this down to the tropics here. Now we'll just take a look and show you Beryl here. You're watching two things here. So here's Beryl right here. Excuse me. All right, so here's Beryl right here, and you're going to see, I just want to show you how rapidly it strengthens. Or it's actually, the good thing is it does move very fast. All right, so the windwards will start hitting them. This is using the, I don't know what model it's using, but this is underestimating the wind gust, this thing. It only has it at 54, really. Yeah, this model seems to be, now it's starting to strengthen a little more. Yeah, I think this model is just too slow to... What model are we using here? Let's shift to the GFS. Yeah, that's a little better. I think it was using the Icon. Yeah, this is very... You see what happens here. So if we go into tomorrow night, watching Beryl here. Right, this is tomorrow at 8 p.m. All right, so... And then you can see as we get into our 2 a.m. for Monday, it starts nearing the islands. The thing is, it's a very small, compact storm, it looks like. But in that compact area, you're going to see a lot of damage. Whatever island it hits. I mean, these islands are going to be... I don't know if there's any high ground in these islands, but if there isn't, they need to be evacuated. Because this is something that will have to be watched. And as you can see, Beryl, we're going to talk more about Beryl, I think, tomorrow night or Monday, perhaps. Well, tomorrow night it has to be... We're going to be busy with the severe weather, too. So you could see... Watching Beryl here, and again, looking at the GFS here, you'll see it stays pretty powerful throughout. Maybe weakens a little bit, but you can see here, and it looks like it could hit Jamaica. So all these areas have to be... And look, there's another storm here. So we're not done yet. Things are really heating up in the tropics. But for us, again, I'm concerned with the severe weather threat right now that we have. Let's just put this wind gust back to automatic in our area. Let's see what this shows possible with these thunderstorms. It usually isn't too good with this kind of stuff. Oh, we're back on GFS now. I want to... Yeah, HRRR is what we want. Okay, so the wind gusts here. See, kind of, this really doesn't pick up too well on it, but you can see where there could be some strong winds in these thunderstorms. Let's change this to the NAM. Can we change this to the NAM? We cannot. Okay, let's go to windy.com. We're looking at several parameters for tomorrow here with the wind, because go to wind gusts here. I'm going to menu, wind gusts, and we're going to change this to the NAM for tomorrow. So I kind of show you what kind of wind gusts these storms are producing. But this usually doesn't tell us too much. Yeah, but you can see in the storms there could be some strong wind gusts. Notice the very strong winds offshore too, by the way. Go back to let's go look at the wet bulb temperatures. There's another aspect here. Wet bulb temperatures are very high. Very high wet bulb temperatures. I mean, yeah, almost 80-degree wet bulb temperature in Toms River. These are wet bulb temperatures, all right? 80-degree. These are wet bulb temperatures, folks. All right, so that's very hot. That's very high, all right? So these are the kind of energy that you have in the atmosphere here. You can look at the Euro, too, but kind of like using the NAM at this point. So you have a lot of humidity, a lot of instability in the air. Thunderstorms chances, and again, this shows you what we have here. Obviously, you can see what we have. This is 6 p.m. Really, that's 5 p.m. So yeah, you can see this one's a little bit early. Oh, it's gone back to the Euro. All right, so the Euro's a little faster with the front. Could be 5 o'clock. So you have to, sometimes getting the timing right on these is not always easy. But yeah, Cape Index. This is another thing that again we've got to watch for. So there is a significant threat of severe weather tomorrow night. I want to just make that clear. Let's go back to tidbits and let's see if we have any more model information as far as the latest NAM run goes. Probably not. I have out to 21 hours. Okay. Is that going to take us far enough? No, it's not. You can see the seeds of it are there, but we just don't have the latest run for this. But you can see the seeds already being sown here at 21Z, which is like 5 o'clock or so. So this is for 5 o'clock. You can already see that the thunderstorms are getting going already. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to go out any further on this run, but definitely is a big concern with this line here that we have. And again, the NAM has been pretty consistent. If I go back to 12Z, it also showed it as well. Look at the 12Z was even more frightening. Look at this, purples over Nassau County at 8 o'clock. There could be hail there. So, yeah, this is a very, very big concern for tomorrow. And pay attention to the radar. And, of course, I'll be trying to film the storm, but keep in mind that once the storm has arrived and gets close to the area, I'm going to be busy filming it, so I'm not going to have time to update you. But this really looks like a significant severe weather event for tomorrow for Long Island. There are a lot of things coming together, I think, for some pretty major storms tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, early evening. So, again, I would say anytime 5 o'clock on, pay attention to the radar. And, again, prepare that right around that anytime between, I think, 8 and 9 o'clock is really when this thing is really gonna all hell is gonna break loose right now. That's what it looks like. All the models seem to be coming together on this idea of the severe weather event for tomorrow night. So it almost looks derecho-like in some ways. So we'll see what happens. But I think we're gonna have a very active, it's going to be one of the most severe thunderstorms that a lot of us have seen in a while, especially on Long Island. So I think that chance is there. We'll see exactly what happens, but that's what I'm thinking right now. That's my genuine opinion. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.